Taylor, does it say we should be live? We are live. All right, cool. I see us. Fantastic. We're doing things a little bit differently now. So, yeah, welcome everybody. That was a little bit of a weird, awkward start. Hello. Welcome to the Social Distancing Social Hour. I am one of your hosts, Steve Hofstetter, joined here, and let me introduce one of our other hosts, Ben Gleib, everybody. Ben, you probably know him as someone regular on Chelsea Lately for several years. Also the host of Idiot Test on Netflix. Welcome, Ben Gleib, everybody.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well, quarantined. It's getting crazier out there, so let's make it crazier in here on the Social Distancing Social Club. I don't see why not. And the way to make it crazy-esque is to introduce our co-host, a regular on the Bob and Tom radio show, and a regular in our hearts, Chris Bowers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. We're inside. We might as well be drinking, right? I mean, that's what's happening here. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad that I've got friends to talk to and people to drink with. And so I'm excited for another great show. Let's do this.
Excellent. I see that a ton of comments are coming in. Make sure whether you want to ask your questions or you just want to super chat and throw some support, we very much appreciate. Now, as these questions come in, I will very happily introduce our special guest. We have a non-stand-up special guest, but still a very funny guy. You might know him as one of the people who helped defeat the evil empire of the Houston Astros in this past World Series. Pitcher for the Washington Nationals, Mr. Sean Doolittle, everybody. Sean Doolittle is here with us. Sean, thanks for joining.
Oh, let's go, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and getting ready to sing. Are we doing the Imagine song? Is that why we're all here?
Yeah. What a train wreck that was. Do you think that any of the people who participated in that had any idea just how reviled that was going to be?
It's just that's the funny thing about the internet. You never know what everyone's going to love and what everyone's going to fucking hate. It's terrible. Like, you can try something to be nice, and then everyone's like, "No, you're the devil," and you're like, "Oh shit, sorry, we were trying to do good stuff."
I think with the amount of effort they put into it, they thought it was going to be like a hit, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They thought it was going to be "We Are the World" for quarantine.
Right. Leave it. Turns out to a bunch of A-list celebrities to somehow make the end of the world much worse.
That actually wasn't the worst video from a celebrity, though. Did you guys see the Ronda Rousey video?
No.
The Ronda Rousey video. So I guess she's a prepper. And so she and I think her husband have been just prepping for a very long time, as you can do when you have a fuck ton of money. And so,
brain damage.
Yeah, exactly. When you've been hit in the head that long. Although now, I mean, it seems like it does make sense. So she does this video, and instead of being like, "Hey guys, I've actually been prepping for a while, and I've been encouraging other people to prep, and I don't understand why people haven't been listening to me, and now it makes sense." She did this video where it's just this super condescending, like she's like, I was wondering what we would need for this, and have enough meat, and then she would show like a giant meat freezer. She'd be like, "Yeah, we do." And she just went through and showed all the stuff that she has, including Tesla fucking generators. Like, what an asshole. She's just like, anybody could do this. And it's like, no, they fucking can't. We're live streaming to make $10 in tips. Shut the fuck up, Rhonda.
Was she punching the meat? That's my question.
That's how she tenderizes it. She just punches the meat over and over again.
It's like chasing chickens around and shit. You're like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
Even Tesla itself can't prepare properly for the apocalypse. Tesla unveils its new apocalypse-proof car, and you can throw baseballs right through the windows.
Really? That's insane. Well, Sean definitely could.
That Elon Musk did?
Oh yeah, that's right. The that crazy thing that looked like it was like a Batman car, and then and then
he had a guy say they're unbreakable windows. Watch, throw these baseballs at them, and a guy throw, and they break right through the windows instantly.
Well, before we bring our first stand-ups on, if anybody in the comments, whether you want to throw in a super chat, would be very much appreciated. Then you're guaranteed an answer. But just a question or a general whatever it is that you want to do, feel free to ask Sean some questions. Not every day You get to talk to a Major League Baseball player. One, by the way, who has a very impressive obsession for Star Wars, which I want to talk to you about for a second here. So, Sean, how old were you when you first saw Star Wars?
Oh man, I guess I was probably 8, 10 years old. I remember watching them with my brother and my dad, and there was just something about them that I always gravitated towards, and I don't know, the creativity, it just kind of captured my imagination, and it's just been fun. I've enjoyed kind of sharing some of the experiences with fans, and in every one of our champagne celebrations during the playoffs, I had a blue lightsaber that I was carrying around, so we had some fun with it.
That is amazing. That is so cool.
Do you ever get into shit with Star Trek people?
No, I don't know literally anything. I don't even know enough about Star Trek to really troll them at all.
You just got to know that it sucks and it's not as good. I mean, other than that, you're fine. You don't need to know the rest of it.
Oh my God, Bowers is going to get into so much trouble.
I'm kidding. Star Trek is equally as good as Star Wars. I'm joking.
I wouldn't go that far, but Rachel, Queen Rachel, do we have any? Which, by the way, our lovely viewers have nicknamed our producer Rachel Queen Rachel, and so we're running with it. So, Queen Rachel, do we have any super chats for us or our guests?
We do. I'd like to say I definitely did not give myself that name, but we had Karen M donated $20, and then Z Bunster gave us $20 and said, "Hello from Maine. Any thoughts on your favorite quote or words to live by?" His favorite is, "When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro," by Hunter S. Thompson.
I mean, that's kind of what we did on these super chats. Favorite quotes to live by. I'd say mine are my favorite. Actually, another baseball player, Jackie Robinson, said, "A life is only important in the impact it has on other lives." And I love that one. I use that one, and lead a good life, so when you look back on it, you can enjoy it a second time. And that one was said by an internet forward, and I have no idea who wrote it. So that's what I got.
One of my favorite quotes is, and I think it's very appropriate for times like this: "Bite off more than you can chew, and then chew like hell."
Oh, that's great. Who's that?
I like that.
I don't know. I think maybe Abraham Lincoln, but I could be making that up.
I think it's Sinatra, but I'll give it to you.
All right. Fair enough.
My favorite quote is, "Figure out what you want and learn how to ask for that."
Oh, that's great. What about you, Sean?
My favorite Star Wars quote is, "Live long and prosper."
You're gonna get so many trolls. Oh, that was phenomenal. By the way, in the comments, if anybody wants to share their favorite words to live by, make sure to do that in the chat. And of course, we also want to introduce. We have some live audience members. So if any of our shout out to all of our people who joined us live on camera, we very much appreciate you being in the audience. If any of you have any words to live by you want to share, but more importantly, if you have any questions for any of us or for Sean, feel free to jump in before we introduce our first comic.
Steve, we did have a super chat come in with a question for Sean.
Yes.
We had Savannah Martin donate $5, and she said, "Sean, is there a book that you can read over and over again and still get something out of it? What book would that be?"
Oh man.
I don't know if Sean froze or he's just really deep in thought.
I'm trying to unfreeze myself.
Yeah, you made it. You made it.
All right, I was trying to unfreeze myself. I would pick Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, which I don't really recommend reading right now because it has big dystopian energy and a lot of like post-apocalyptic like themes and imagery and stuff like that. But I read it. It's one of the few books I've read multiple times, and I really like it.
Yeah, and by the way, that I think is that the most common answer in the Nationals bullpen, or is that your favorite specifically?
I love the phrase "big dystopian energy." I think that's the new big dick energy.
That's BDE.
I'm not sure if it's big dystopian energy or if it's big pandemic energy. Either way.
I agree with that, by the way, though. The idea of like all these people, like you put on Netflix and the first thing it's going to recommend is it's recommending Outbreak and it's recommending Pandemic and it's recommending Contagion. And I'm like, no fucking way. I want to see Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy right now. And that is all I want to watch.
I'm either really prepared for this or because of all the dystopian stuff that I've watched and read, or it's making me freak out even more. I haven't really decided yet.
Well, we'll find out based on what's left in your cupboard in 2 weeks.
Well, I just always thought that like any like dystopian world that I would live in, I would be wearing like a cool outfit with like shoulder pads and spikes, like in Mad Max Fury Road, and like going out and like doing like really dangerous stuff to try to like save humanity. And instead, I'm sitting in my pajamas, watching reruns of The Office on Comedy Central. So a little bit different than
the shoulder.
You thought you'd be in cool outfits? I mean, who the fuck would do that? That's crazy. To wear a cool outfit for the apocalypse? That's nuts.
Bowers actually also has a tuxedo with these spiked shoulders. It's something he hasn't shared with us yet.
I got it at Macy's 80% off.
I feel like we're early on in this. Yeah. What do you got?
Oh, my dad wanted to ask you, Sean, if things, first of all, he says congratulations and thank you for taking down the Astros. He wanted me to ask you two things. If you think the Astros title in World Series past should be taken away because of the cheating scandal. And then question two is whether or not you guys would consider playing this upcoming season with no audience to give people America's pastime during these crazy times.
I'll answer those questions in reverse order. Yes, we definitely will.
Oh no, he froze.
No. Unfreeze.
Here we go. He'll be back.
All right.
Every time someone's about to answer a question about if the Astros championship should be taken away, somebody bangs on a trash can and it messes up the signal.
You froze. We
am
heard
I back?
Yeah, you're back.
You're back now. We didn't hear any of your answer though.
Yeah, we definitely would consider playing this season, even if there were no fans and the games could just be broadcast on TV. I think that would be something that fans would really respond to and would really love. I know we as players would love getting back out there. We've been staying ready. We go into the facility down here in Florida in shifts, in groups of 4. To make sure that we stay under the new 10-person suggested limit. So,
oh damn it, we gotta get Sean some Wi-Fi.
You'd think you win the World Series, you get better Wi-Fi. I would imagine. Fuck, maybe not.
I'm at the mercy of the hotel Wi-Fi here in Florida.
Gotcha.
I'm stuck down here in Florida. I'm Florida man now. So
you're talking to a bunch of road comics. We are very familiar with shitty hotel internet. So we feel for you, man.
I thought I was going to be here for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. So you said you go down in groups of 4 to stay under 10 people, and you guys are still working out right now?
Yeah, we're still working out, and at this point, it's just something else to do. That's really the only time that I leave the hotel. So we're staying ready and keeping our brains from going too crazy. But as far as the 2017 title, I would.
No.
That is hilarious.
Again, you said as far as the 2017 title that you can go spend animation like Robert De Niro in a waiting.
This is hilarious.
Oh my God.
Rob Manfred has his finger on a button somewhere. He just dump buttons every time he's going to talk about the Astros.
I think Jose Altuve is staying in the room next to him.
Now. Do you think the Astros should lose their title?
So I think my buzzer was creating some interference with the Wi-Fi. Sorry, it's under here somewhere.
We are losing all our Houston viewership. This is amazing.
I'm just kidding. I honestly I don't know what should happen. I don't.
Wow.
John, it might be better if you turn off your Wi-Fi and just go off cell service. I think that's what I'm on right now, and it's working great. It might be better if you turn off Wi-Fi and go just cell service.
Let's see. Can I do that from my phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Right.
Well, meanwhile, we very much appreciate. We very much appreciate, Sean not only giving of his time, but really mocking the Astros in a wonderful way. And I say this, by the way, as a Mets fan who's supposed to root against the Nationals. Not anymore. Not as long as you guys are the reigning World Series champions and the Astros are not. Your enemy's enemy is your friend. And with that, we need to introduce our first comedian, who, by the way, a big fan of the Washington Nationals, and someone who was very happy that they won. Bowers, you want to introduce him?
Sure. So our first comedian today is Danny Jolles. Danny has been on the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and as Steve said, is a Nationals fan and a very, very funny comedian, one of my favorites here in Los Angeles. So everybody, Danny Jolles, let me hear you.
Hey, is this stand-up? Is this ranting? Who's to say? Am I? Hang on, sorry, it's a little hot in here. Let me just clear this out. Sorry about that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That helps. I'm a slight Nationals fan. That is true. Diehard sports fan. Been one in LA ever since. It's hard to be a sports fan in LA just because anytime you react, you just like feel a fedora just coming your way. Like I remember I was at a party. I'm a slight Nationals fan, and I was at a party when Trey Turner broke his finger, which looked like a season-long injury. And I just was like, I remember I went, "Oh, fuck me in the dick," and it was just like fedora and scarf. And they just always say the same thing where they're like, "Dude, it's just a game. It doesn't matter." It's always like, all right, first off, nothing matters. All right, you ever look up at the stars? It's all bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Secondly, like, they all get to yell about your TV shows. Everybody, like, I yell this all the time. Everybody doesn't watch sports. They all walk around being like, Walter White. I can't believe what happened to Walter White. It's like, good place, a bad place, bad place. Good. It's like, dude, mine's a real person. That's how Trey Turner feeds his family. I can't yell. It's like, it's so frustrating. Sorry, let me just take a quick drink of water. All right.
Nice.
I just wish, like, the closest thing I've seen to sports in LA was Game of Thrones. And I just wish everyone could experience what it's like to like watch sports. Like if when that first episode ended, like everybody was like sitting down and they were so excited for like that first episode. And then like Jon Snow, everybody's favorite, to come out, and he was like, "I'm Jon Snow," whatever. I never understood what the show was about. I'm sure Sean, you do. I have no clue. But if he's like, "We got to protect the wall," or with the wall, it was like very Trumpy. He was like, "But we got to protect the wall." All sorry, like a mill. He's just like, "And the wall, we got to my finger! I broke my finger." And then they just wheeled Kit Harington off the screen, and then another Jon Snow had came out who you'd never seen before. You're like, "Who's this Jon Snow?" And they're like, he played Jon Snow at BYU for a couple years. I guess he's got good upside. Like this guy, he's like, "We got to protect the wall." Like, this guy sucks in comparison. When that episode ended, you would turn to your friend. You'd be like, "This is bullshit." When is Kit Harington back? And they'd be like, "Dude, they said broken pinky. That's a season-long injury." You'd be like, "Fuck me in the dick," and you'd be right in that situation. So that's rant number one. That's rant number one. I'm gonna need Sean to come back before I do rant number two. I'll be
He's still on. He's still on.
Oh, thank God. All right. All right, hang on. Here, let me just bring my head down a little bit for a second. Okay. All right. So sorry. I had one more joke. Can't remember what it was. Sorry, give me a second. I wrote down a set list. I love sports. Favorite player is a guy by the name of Dikembe Mutombo. Specifically, there's one rumor about Dikembe Mutombo. It's called the "Who Wants to Sex Mutombo" rumor. But basically, the rumor is back in the day, Dikembe Mutombo would walk into crowded bars, and bar would go silent. A 7-foot monster walked into the room. He would just loudly go, "Who wants to sex Mutombo?" And then inevitably, some young lady would be like, "Me." They would go off and they would sex Mutombo. And as a kid, I was like, well, that's the fucking dream. I mean, that's everything we wanted to grow up to be. I was a Jew in Virginia at the time. I was like, that seems awesome. But with that said, we live in a period right now, and I think it's really good period where we're just looking back at our heroes and we're being like, is that a good person? Like, is that the sort of person we should be looking up to? And looking back on it, it's like, way to get consent, Dikembe. Asking the question in a crowded bar, putting no pressure on the female, with witnesses that's light years ahead of his time. Unbelievable. Allegations not in his house. No, sir. That's a good man. And with that, I say, thank you all so much.
One more time for Danny Jolles, everybody.
Jolles. Nice.
Nicely done. If you guys enjoyed... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bowers.
I was going to say, the great thing about Danny's set is the first rule of comedy is know your audience. So holy shit, that was great.
I've become a prop comic since the corona, so this is who I am now.
If you enjoyed Danny's set, make sure to you can tip him in the super chat. Make sure to tip him in the comments. Also, you can see our Venmo is on screen as well. If you want to do that instead of super chatting, either one works. Queen Rachel, do we have any super chats that came in during Danny's set?
We sure did. So we had Savannah Martin. She said, "I love Danny. That is all." We had Z Bunster. "Okay, Danny, you're killing me here." Jennifer Kofed and Reville all donated.
That is awesome. I also just scrolled up. I saw some others come in as well.
Yep, there were some others. So Casey Shaughnessy, the favorite words to live by. So he donated $20 and said, "If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving is not for you."
Nice.
And we had April donate $50 and just thanking you, Steve. She said saving her life, that she knows it's quite heavy, but wants to check in to see how you're doing.
Well, that's very nice. And yeah, she did send a very nice message, as have some other people, about just the idea of what comedy can do, and especially in a time like this. I'm actually doing really well, and I think I'm doing really well. The first couple days were tough, but I think these live streams have been great for me because I've been able to hang out with my friends. I've been able to interact with you guys and just feel like I'm part of something. Because right now all I can do is just like lean out my window and talk to my neighbors, and I don't like those people. So I think it's better. Look, just because we share an address doesn't mean we're friends. So I do. I love you guys. I love the support. It is so wonderful. To see everybody coming in. And like we said, you want to throw in some super chats and tip Danny. All the money that is thrown in as tips goes right to the comedians. And as you can see, Danny has a bit of a Nationals gear habit that he has to fund. So got to make sure to give him enough. Danny, by the way, inside information. So not only, so Danny and I, aside from the fact that we used to tour together, we were also roommates for 2 years. And Danny's dog's name is Harper, named after Bryce Harper, who was on the Washington Nationals for about 3 months while you had the dog. Like,
it's a decision that we look back on with regret. But yeah. His name's Harper. It's all true, and there's no real defense to it. It was incredibly stupid. They told me 200 times when we were naming the dog he was going to leave, and I didn't believe it. And
there's Harper in the background right now. We just saw him.
Yeah. Harper, if you want, here, come here. Harper.
Yeah. See, Harper's not signing with you either.
That's not that dumb. You realize there are 15 people in right now, 15 children in Cleveland named Baker. So, naming a kid Harper's not that dumb.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are a lot of people in Boston named Brady as well that are now going to have to root for Tampa.
At least they're 20.
It happens. It happens. Anyway, Sean, I assume you were able to see Danny's love for your team. Is that kind of thing make you smile or terrified?
No, I love it, man. It doesn't get old seeing Nats fans and how much the World Series win meant to all of our fans. That's been one of the coolest parts about this whole experience. So I think it's awesome. That stuff never gets old.
Excellent. And Savannah, who not only is super chatting us, but is also live on video with us, just put to the video chat, asked if you could ask a question. Absolutely. Savannah, what do you got?
Okay. I did my research. I'm a huge Danny Jolles fan. Yeah. Danny, how long ago did you put that your name was pronounced Danny Loser on your Facebook?
Oh, that is a very funny bit. Yeah. I have my name pronounced as Danny Loser on Facebook. That is the thing I did. And my girlfriend pointed it out to me maybe 6 months ago. She was like, "That's such a funny bit you have." And I was like, "I have literally no recollection of doing that bit." It is so old. I've forgotten about it for years. And then very recently she was like, "That's such a good bit you have." And I was like, "What bit?" And now yeah.
Also, Danny, it's incredible how you got so many laughs with such a terrible Fisher-Price My First Microphone.
Is it bad? I didn't know the entire time, but now I will be self-conscious about it for the rest of my evening. Thank you for
actually it's so bad. What happened is Danny is in Los Feliz, which is about 20 minutes from where I live, and it's actually my mic that's picking him up. That's how faint he is right now.
Is my mic that bad? Hang on.
It's have you ever played with a speak and spell?
Are we doing Dane Cook bits now?
It's well, no, I'm just saying that's what the mic sounds like.
How's this? Now am I better?
Yes.
Wow.
All right, you know what? Let's redo the set. Let's take it from the top.
So could anybody hear anything I said the entire time? Was this all just?
It just sounded a little crumbly, and now it
we
sounds
can hear you.
better.
We're just giving you shit.
This is devastating news. I have nothing right now. How could you?
I thought you sounded fine and laughed at all the jokes. Maybe it's because I'm on real Wi-Fi and Ben's on his cellular network. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Even if you're lying to me, I appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's because Chris likes to stand 400 feet back from his camera, so I guess the audio has a chance to rectify off the wall.
I have wireless headphones in. I'm right next to you.
All right.
Tidy on frame, Chris.
Queen Rachel, do we have any other? It's all right. While Ben and Bowers fight, Queen Rachel, do we have any other questions?
So many super chats just came in for Danny. So we've got Mark Juvelin, a Cooper's Cub, said thank you for keeping the stream up. Selena H gave $20. Razor gave on behalf of a YouTube Sipsy 22. Wouldn't be able to donate, so she donated for her. The Rock and Donkey.
And wrote heckles. I just saw that one.
They did write heckles.
That is the politest way to heckle, in chat after the set is done.
Very kind.
If anyone's ever going to heckle at all that way. And by the way, can I just say one of my favorite things about these super chats is what Raxor did on behalf of Sci-Spy 22, where because not everybody has the money to donate. We understand these are trying times for a lot of people, That is why wonderful comedians are willing to do this. So
that's why our show is free to watch.
Absolutely. Our show is free to watch for anyone. And so those of you who don't have a couple bucks to kick in the super chat, we don't fault you, and it's perfectly fine. And it's so sweet when someone else does it on someone's behalf. We think that's the best. So, so thanks very much for doing that, Rockstar. That is absolutely awesome. Rachel, do we have anything else?
Nope. All good to move on.
All right, cool. And obviously, of course, we could take some non-super chat questions as well. But that said,
I have a question for Sean real quick. As a comedian who's never, I think most comedians have never had this happen. What's it like to achieve your life's dream and actually win? That had to feel good, didn't it?
To be honest, it still hasn't totally sunk in yet. Because for me, last year was my eighth season in the big leagues, and we'd never, any team that I had been on had never made it out of the first round of the playoffs. So you start to wonder if it's ever going to happen, or like you see other teams celebrating after a World Series and you're like, how is this even possible? I've been on some really good teams and I've never even come close. And, it was such a whirlwind experience. The World Series seemed to go by so fast. It still really hasn't sunk in yet. I honestly am still coming to grips with it.
Well,
so
you have a shot at
comic.
being,
okay.
Yeah, you have a shot at being world champion this year too. Not just in case the Nationals win, but in case no one plays. You guys are the defending champions. So,
we're the last World
champions
Series
of all
champs.
times.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So good, we decided to cancel the World Series forever.
You see the Nationals just going around trying to give people coronavirus. Like, I think this is our only show.
This is how we keep it.
Sean, I have 2 follow-up questions that are follow-ups on my first 2 questions. With regards to playing without a crowd, and you guys said you're playing 4 time now. Are you just working out, or are you actually on the field taking batting practice, throwing the ball around? And if so, are they disinfecting the ball anymore? Because they really could, as soon as the ball goes to anybody between the pitcher and the hitter, they could just retire the ball for a second, Lysol it, then put it back into a rotation.
No, we don't have anything going on the fields right now. We have we'll play catch outside. Hitters will hit in the batting cage, and then if guys play catch, the first thing they'll do, they'll come back inside, make sure they wash their hands and stuff like that. So we also, we're throwing from more than 6 feet apart. So hopefully things aren't being transferred, but so far so good. We've had to improvise a lot, but we've been staying busy, staying in shape, and hopefully we can resume the season.
Nice. And then my follow-up part 2 to my other question is, I know you said you don't know what should happen to the Astros, but in your heart, in your dream, they have the World Series.
Let him off the hook, Ben. Come on. Oh, suddenly his phone went out. That's so weird.
Do you think they'll change the rules and let you put Perel on the ball? Do you think you'll be able to sanitize the ball and goop it up real good before you play the season?
I'm sure guys are already working on how to use Lysol and soap to their advantage when they're out there to try to get extra grip or extra movement on the ball. So we'll definitely have some ways to innovate from this for sure.
I mean, leadoffs are going to be huge, right? You're going to have to lead off 6 feet from the base.
I'm going to have the batter stand farther away from the plate if he gets too close to the catcher.
Yes.
The umpire
6 foot bats. 6 foot bats.
6 feet behind the catcher.
Yeah.
You won't be allowed to try to pick off a batter that's leading off. He just has to lead off always.
Yeah. And this is actually a great reason to have robo-umps. Some of us have been rooting for that for a while. And now, it's just for safety, guys. It's not because some of you are horrible at this job. It's just for safety.
And in the neighborhood is now 6 feet. If the tag's within 6 feet, the guy's out.
The neighborhood rule will be very liberally applied.
Yes. One question for Chris Bowers. Bowers, could you say one more time how you think the hand sanitizer brand is pronounced?
Perel?
That's an incorrect. It's Purell, and everybody knows it. Purell? What is it, a cat product?
I've never used hand sanitizer before, so I don't know.
Yeah, but you've heard the word
Weirdest
pure,
person in the
right?
world. Why have you never used hand sanitizer?
I just never have. I don't know. I've never been sick. I've never had a cold.
I actually agree with that.
Like that.
I'm very anti hand sanitizer. I understand we're living in different times right now, but for the most part, soap and water, because hand sanitizer, it's short-term gain for long-term loss. It's you need to develop some immunity.
Okay.
Did he just say he's never been sick?
No,
What does that mean?
I'm saying I haven't been sick in 25 years. I haven't been sick. I don't get sick. I don't know.
Knock on wood or something. Goodness gracious.
What does that mean?
I'm saying whenever I feel a little cold, get on. I take an allergy pill and do 3 shots of Crown Royal, and I'm fucking good the next day every time.
It's not that you've never been sick. You wake up 2 days later.
No, I get hungover, but I've just never been. I haven't been to a doctor in 15 years.
Look, let me just say, I am the opposite of being anti-hand sanitizer. Let me just say.
All right, Bowers, you want to introduce our next comedian?
Can we throw that introduction to Ben? Ben, can you introduce Leah?
Sure.
Yeah.
I would love to. This next comedian is a very funny woman. She opens for me on the road. We just did a gig in Edmonton at the Comic Strip, a great club. The last comedy club dates in history. She has a web series called The Real Witches of West Hollywood. You can check it out on YouTube. It is very funny. She's a great comedian. Please welcome Leah Lamarr, everybody.
How's it going, everyone? Can you? Oh my God, Ben! It was so. Was there a problem? Is it something weird? Sorry. You want to see my face? Sorry.
Sure.
All right, now you can see me better, right?
God, if she had a Nationals jersey on under that, I would have freaked out.
Amazing.
All right. I was going to go for a third mask, but I honestly haven't been able to breathe for the last 10 minutes hiding down there. Let me just get something before I start. All right, so let me first just say I don't know anything about sports. I had to look that person up. I was like, how do you even spell that? It's not my audience. I already know that. I'm sorry. Very excited to be here. Hi, Sean. Okay, so you guys, I haven't done stand-up since the quarantine started, so I'm so excited to be here. I'm like more excited to be here than when I heard that my ex-boyfriend got chlamydia from the girl he cheated on me with, and I thought I could never be more excited than that. Thank you. I have no sports jokes for you. Sean, are you on a basketball team?
I'm on a baseball team.
That's the one with the racket, right?
We use bats.
Oh yeah, I heard they eat those in China.
Wow!
I didn't even see it coming either. Trust me. Okay, here we are. Okay, you guys. Woo! So I have no sports jokes for you. This is just who I am. I love you. Sorry for who I am. Thank you. Okay. A lot of people look at me and they think I'm like a bitchy, spoiled, stuck-up Jewish girl. And I'm like, fuck you. Do you know who my father is? Rachel, are you Jewish? Queen Rachel is too busy. Okay.
I am Jewish, sorry.
You negged me like all the guys I've ever wanted to date. So now like I'm Jewish enough that I know time is money, so I just drink my coffee on the toilet. Which is also my favorite chair because it's the only seat you sit in where you lose weight. Guys ever taken a shit so big you feel like you made it onto the Forbes 30 under 30 list. There's a stereotype that Jewish women give the best head. Has anyone here gotten a BJ from a Jewish chick? I am reading the comments. Oh, damn. Sounds like I got a lot of work to do. Quarantine, of course. Okay. Can you give a blowjob from 6 feet away? Someone please tell me. I just think it's a stereotype that Jewish women give the best head because it's a nice break from all the talking. I think that Judaism is fun, but it's actually a very sexist religion. I don't know if anyone here has ever been to a bris, but it's a circumcision, right? And a moil, this is when it gets sexist, a male rabbi comes and he kisses the tip of a dick on the head and then chops it off. Yet when I kiss a dick on the head, I'm a whore. And then when I chop it off, I'm a psychopath. Dating is hard right now. I think we all know that because we're in quarantine. My recently dated an actor didn't go so well. I'd rather date a football player than an actor because I'd rather get punched in the face than stabbed in the back. I was texting with this football player and he sent me a dick pic and I was impressed. I was like, damn, that is a clean room. Hygiene is really sexy these days. No, it was a big dick. It was. But I'm sorry. Ladies, right? We don't want dick pics. Can I see your comments? We don't want dick pics. No. But if you do send me a dick pic, it better be a height pic. And I need it next to a full-size object so I know scale. Don't send me a dick pic next to travel-size toothpaste, okay? And if you're going to send me a dick pic next to Sensodyne, don't send it. You sensitive little bitch. You sensitive, dumb little bitch. And I need a high pic of your body next to a fucking refrigerator, a giraffe. I don't care if it's a mugshot. I literally don't care if you've been to jail. As long as you're legally 6'3", I will fuck you. He did have a big dick, though. He did. But I don't understand women who get excited by a 10-inch cock. It's why do you want to get punched from the inside? When I want to hurt myself on the inside, I just call my mom and ask for advice. He said the way two man's heart is through his stomach, so I just sit on a guy's face. And she still really wants me to marry a Jewish guy, so I've just been going to the hospital and putting my Tinder on a 1-mile radius. No doctors yet. Apparently they are busy. All of my jokes are pre-corona. This is a nightmare. Okay. I recently started getting cystic acne. Very fun, very cool. I went to my dermatologist and she was like, did you change your moisturizer? I said, no. She said, did you change your makeup? I said, no. She said, are you newly sexually active? I said, yes. And then we just high-fived. That's all that happened. Medicine needed. Obviously, we were 6 feet away when that happened. We did not high-five. Everyone calm down. Oh, God. Man, that football player. We had some interesting times together. For example, you guys this is about to become a very intimate conversation with all 200 of you, but a lot of ladies, they like just a gentle touch on their clit, right? Just a soft, gentle touch. Not me, no. I need you to rub my clit like you're scrubbing the blood out of a murder scene. And the cops are on the way. You've got 2 minutes to get this pussy off or you're going to jail for life. You better not leave any fingerprints. And then after the first time we had sex, it was okay, And then he goes, did you come? And I was like, no. And he was like, wait, really? And I was like, no. And he goes, I didn't know. You didn't know? When a microwave is cooking food, does it ding? Ding, bitch! I hope if you're quarantined with anyone right now that you guys ding tonight. Whatever feels right to you. I'll just end on this. I do have a weird life. Like, I recently got auto-added on Facebook to an Arab actors group. I was like, are my eyebrows that on point that Facebook just assumed? And it all kind of came together because I got detained at the airport coming home from the holidays. Turns out when you put anal beads through a scanner, it just looks like 5 tiny bombs attached by a string. And those tiny terrorists. That's who I am. Okay, I'm Leah. Hi guys, thanks for listening to my set.
Leah Lamarr, everybody.
Very good.
Nice.
Hey, I really liked all your jokes about how big dicks are terrible. That was really
Yeah, it's
great.
too big. My cervix is right there. What am I supposed to do with it?
The only problem with Leah's stand-up is you don't learn anything about her. I feel like I don't know. Oh, what?
That's who I am. I mean, you didn't even know that I was.
Whoever's listening to the chat out loud, please stop doing that.
Please mute your YouTube. Mute your YouTube. You're hearing it on Echo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
We're
figure
just
it
listening to Leah again.
Mute your YouTube, please.
Yeah, someone's got it. I don't know if this is.
I think Costaki, is your computer on? Can you turn off your YouTube, or at least pause
I
it?
think that was me. Sorry, kids.
No
All right,
problem.
cool. We got it. And Rachel, make sure to rename Kostaki's window. Meanwhile, sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. For those of you who enjoyed Leah's set, please, right now, the tip jar is open. Please throw in a couple of bucks. It goes right to her. And
Your kids are laughing. Sorry, I just saw Angel Fish's comment. I'm upset that your kids are laughing.
Let's hope that Angel is older.
Well, you know what? Sex education is now virtual for everyone. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Mommy, what are anal beads? Well,
and she just goes, oh, and just shows.
Just bring them out. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who doesn't have a drawer full of sex toys right now is very sad.
She's like, well, kids,
I think the three highest things getting delivered to people's houses are sanitizer, zinc, and sex toys.
Like, those are the 3 things. All right, so the tip jar is open. If you guys enjoyed Leah's set, please kick in a couple of bucks. Queen Rachel, do we have any super chats that have come in since the last time we checked out?
Let me start my video. We do. We had a ton come in. So we had Gleib 817 Studios gave $25 on behalf of Comedy by the Bridge. Love you guys. Revel said best.
Oh, wait a second. I just want to interrupt real quick. Shout out Comedy by the Bridge. Wonderful show just outside Louisville, Kentucky, over the bridge in Indiana. We appreciate if live shows are a thing again and you guys live in that region, please go there once they're back up. Sorry about that. Rachel, go ahead.
No worries. Revel gave $10, said it's the best first second of a set ever. Casey Shaughnessy said, hooray, gallows humor. That was great. Savannah Martin said, good Lord. Z Bunster, okay, bath, jean, and toilet. Razor gave $5 and said he was holding a lighter up and said, do the aristocrats. And then the Nixter gave $50 and said, one for me, one for a friend in the chat. I'm dying over here, and that's a good thing, I promise. Thanks for the laughs.
That is wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Thank you everybody who gave, whether it was tipping Leah or just generally to the stream. We very much appreciate that. While we still have Leah here, do anybody on panel have any questions for her? Whether it's a fan, one of our guests, or something in the chat. What do we got?
I got one.
Okay, Savannah, what do we got?
On October 5th, 2016, you tweeted, I love getting sick because it's my favorite excuse to revert to being a child without drinking alcohol. What is the most childlike thing you like to do when you're sick?
First of all, I don't even know what I meant with that tweet. What? Like,
Wait, first of all, wait,
I'm
hang on.
myself. Like, what? Okay, Savannah, I'm also very scared of you right now. I feel like you know more about me than I know about myself.
No, I actually think that this is a wonderful bit from Savannah, that she has decided to research people and fuck with you guys. That's awesome.
Like, my first thought,
I should be paying you.
Does she have a book on all of us?
In a beautiful bound book. Somehow
Yeah,
she's
like-
turned us into. Are you a witch? Are you casting spells out of this great bound?
I do
leather-bound
my
book?
research.
I just love the idea that she's just like, oh, let me find the L volume for Lamarr. Let me.
In 2013, you told your mom you never wanted to see her again. How's that sound now, Lamarr?
Love comedy, and you work at the Library of Congress, Savannah. All the tweet archives.
That's what I do.
The tweet archives.
I hope none of us ever audition for SNL. Otherwise, Savannah will out us for our bad tweets.
By the way, FYI, that's a historically accurate joke, factually accurate. The Library of Congress does archive everybody's tweets, so FYI, careful what you say.
Okay,
shit.
so does anyone else have any more questions for Leah before we?
Thank you for letting me dodge that one. I do appreciate it, Stu.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here to help.
I can.
All right, Rachel, do we have anything on the stream coming in?
So we've got a lot of other super chats come in. So before,
what else we got?
So Adam Winsett gave $10 and said, just shouting out to all the techies behind the scenes who make this run. Tybo donated and said, here's beer money. Thanks for the entertainment. Savannah Martin gave some more and just said, here's some more for everybody. And a Cougars Cub said, donated $10 and said, Steve, I hate to be this guy. I asked you marry, fuck, kill, mom, dad, or Air Canada. The audio cut out right when you answered. Can I please hear your reply again?
Yeah, that was on another stream.
And the answer was, "You monster! How could you ask me that?" That is hilarious.
Yeah, pretty much. So I said it's very easy. I would fuck Air Canada, but then I would take an Air Canada flight, which would result in my death, so I wouldn't have to do the other two things. So
You should be a politician.
yeah, I appreciate that. Right now they're the only ones still getting paid. Thank you one more time for Leah Lamarr, everybody. Thank you. Leah, your
podcast. If people are bored and want to listen, it's called Falling in Love with Leah Lamarr. And I set two single friends up on a date and then see if they fall in love in the podcast. It's pretty crazy. I actually have some success stories from it, which is awesome. Ben mentioned my podcast, my web series, The Real Witches of West Hollywood. I'm also on What the Fashion on E. You can watch on Snapchat or on their Instagram. I just generally love you guys. Thanks for coming and supporting.
Well, thank you, Leah. And we totally forgot, Danny, are you still in the chat with us? We totally forgot to plug your stuff.
I know we did, and I heard her do it, and I was upset.
Danny's just been watching Nationals World Series highlights this entire time. He's not even paying attention to the screen.
I do a podcast called Everything But the Scores, which is about all the stories around sports, not the stuff that happens on the field, which is good because that'll be a while until any of that happens. We're starting to do it live on YouTube, I think starting on Sunday night at 8. This week I have Skylar Aston, Matthew Broussard, and a bunch of other really cool people. And if you guys want to tune in, that'd be lovely. And subscribe to the podcast. And other than that, who knows what I do until the next couple months.
I've actually been on both of those podcasts, and they're wonderful podcasts.
I also have merch on my website if you stalk me, or you can follow me on Instagram.
All right. I think it's time now. Bowers, you want to introduce our third comedian of the day?
I will. So our next comedian is a regular on not only the Bob and Tom show, but all kinds of radio shows all over the country where he does Quick Snaps, which is football jokes and football. It's kind of a sports-centric show today. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but Costaki's a very funny comedian. He's one of my very good friends. In fact, when I bought the comedy club in Indianapolis, he was the first guy I called and said, "Hey, what do comics care about?" And he said, "Hotel." That's it. That's all we give a shit about it. we made sure we had a good hotel at Morty's. And that was kind of that's the one saving grace I think we had. But anyway, coming right now is one of my very good friends. You're loving. Give it up for the biggest name in comedy, Costaki Economopoulos, everybody.
Hey! Good to see your faces, boys. Steve and Gleib and Bowers. It's some great sets already. Good to be here. My eye itches. Am I supposed to be a pine cone? What exactly is the plan now going forward? Sir, my hands are so dry from washing them and alcohol wiping them that I'm actually using hand lotion on my hands. That's how bad it's.
Oh, shit.
I actually read that masturbation boosts the immune system. So maybe I'm bulletproof. I don't know. Like, honey, could you watch the kids? I'm going to go boost my immune system. I'll be right back. 2 weeks ago, I saw the Italians are playing soccer with no crowds, and I was like, we're going to be fine. Here in America, we are way ahead of the curve on that. We have been watching soccer with no crowds for decades. Last year I had some money. You guys remember money? That was fun. I was thinking of investing in Purell. I went Royal Caribbean. I don't think it's going to work out. I'm just I think it's going to get ugly before it gets better, but I think long run we're going to be okay. I got 2 words for everybody. Magic Johnson. He's fun. By the way, is that the perfect name for a guy who slept with thousands of women, got AIDS, and then lived a great life for decades? Magic Johnson. The first NFL name testing positive for the coronavirus, Sean Payton, the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. He's decided not to play defense against the virus. He's just going to have Drew Brees outscore the virus. So Peyton knows he's outclassed. So look for an onside kick after halftime, like a surprise. You know, it's his only chance, really. The big news this week, of course, Tom Brady going to Tampa because of his advanced age is going to be a no visitors policy for Tom Brady. Good news for Tom Brady, no state income tax in Tampa. The bad news, he has to buy an El Camino. So, you know. Rivers to the Colts reported $25 million. That's almost $1 million per child. I mean, that's a lot of. I'm worried if Philip Rivers moves his whole family from California to Indianapolis, it's going to throw off the census. I don't think Newton out of Carolina. So I'm here to update with my Newton power rankings. Power rankings are fun because they're debatable. I have Newton power rankings. I have Fig, Isaac, Cam, Juice, and Wayne. Those are my current rankings. Always debatable. It looks like Teddy Bridgewater is going to come in there and quarterback for the Panthers. I've always said he's got what should be the nickname for Ted Kennedy, Teddy Bridgewater. That's the touch my face. And let's close on this. I assume you guys are like me and you have followed along this season with the ups and downs of O.J. Simpson's fantasy football team. Post these videos on Twitter and I cannot not watch them. This is all true. His first pick in the draft was Saquon Barkley, who missed a month and was useless for fantasy for most of the season. His third pick was Antonio Brown, who lost his mind and didn't play football this season. His fourth pick was Andrew Luck, who literally retired from football for good 2 hours after the draft. What are the odds that 3 of your top 4 picks would be useless in fantasy? What did poor OJ do to deserve this? And it is with a heavy heart that I report to you, this is true. OJ won the fantasy league this year. I don't know how that's possible after that start. How did they let him get away with that? Who? Martin and Marsha Clark? Get on, everybody.
Yay, Costaki Economopoulos.
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah,
that was fantastic.
that Magic Johnson joke. I think I've never seen anybody put the punchline of the joke in the beginning of the joke and then still somehow surprise me with the punchline. Like,
Oh, that's a nice
you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those,
funny.
like I've heard that. Like I shared that on Facebook, and everybody was like, "How did they not? How did I never think of that before? It's been there for 20 fucking years." It's one of those ones you write it,
I
and you're
said it
like,
on stage. I go, I just wrote that joke today. How has someone written that like 30 years ago? Like, how is this possible that we never wrote that joke before? I don't know.
sometimes that happens. man.
I've done the joke, but whatever. It was great hearing it from you too.
Of course, that's how Ben feels about all jokes.
The tip jar is open if you guys want to tip Costaki Economopoulos for his very timely humor. Very, very, very well done. If you want to throw in a couple of bucks, it goes to Costaki. So please support the comics who are willing to do their sets on this ridiculous new format. And Rachel, Queen Rachel, do we have anything coming in super chat wise other?
We do. We have quite a bit. So Angela Apolonsky gave $10, said laughter in the time of Corona. Thank you guys. Savannah Martin gave $5 and said the Magic Johnson. I'm so glad you went with that bit. The Rockin' Donkey donated on behalf of a different user, Blitz, who just wanted to thank us for making this free and I guess giving him comedy during times that are tough. Razor gave $5 and said he's holding up the lighter again. He said, "Do the what's the deal with your airplane food, dude?"
I love giving us money and then yelling out hacky jokes to do. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny little comment.
Be like, we love you guys, but you suck. That was,
Angela Opolinski, by the way, is my ex-wife. So thank you, Angela, for watching my show and donating to it. That's very cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Keep coming in. You know, that's how you can have friends. You can be friends with your exes, right?
Yeah, we also we have a couple of Venmos coming in too. Philip Olson threw in $10, and then Jim Linhart threw in $15 and said for Bowers, looking forward to that virtual later Indiana Nights. And so that's Bowers does like a what is it, a FaceTime hangout session, right?
We do FaceTime parties and Snapchat parties where we just get real drunk and do shots and then, go to bed.
Yeah, and if Patreon will ever get their fucking technology fixed, we'll be able to have a Patreon for this where you could do that with Bowers. And are there any questions aside from the super chats coming in, whether they're super chatted or otherwise that we should get to, Rachel?
There's a lot of stuff coming in. Everybody just keeps thanking us. They're saying thank you. Costaki, Casey Shaughnessy said he was dying the entire time. We also had Savannah Martin donate, and she said she has a question for us. She said, "What would you do if you watched one of your front row audience members get kidnapped while on this live stream?"
We need to go back to Savannah and make sure she's okay. Savannah, can you talk so I can make sure you're okay?
Yeah.
I'm
Is
doing
this a
great.
hypothetical? Or are you being kid? Okay, good. You're great. Okay, good.
Yeah, I love the idea that she was kidnapped. She's like, "Can I just ask one question before I go, please?" How do I tell them I'm being kidnapped?
I think that if somebody got kidnapped during this live stream, what I would probably do is be like, how lucky for them, they got taken out of their misery before the rest of us slowly go.
Yeah. I would actually say that we would have to, obviously we would alert authorities, we would get help, we would do everything we could as soon as the set ended, because we're not going to interrupt a comedian. It's very rude.
Take care of business, then write some jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, there's a funny comment in the YouTube chat from somebody, Nerve Berserker, saying, "You know what kills coronavirus? Lyme's disease."
Yeah, or cocaine works. I've heard from Twitter that cocaine works as well.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, Costaki, we don't want to forget your plugs. Where do people find you?
Here's a couple of good plugs. At Funny Costaki on Twitter is sort of my joke playground. I'm doing NFL jokes all the time, and may or may not have an NFL season this year, so I might be pivoting. But the podcast is called Quick Snaps. It's NFL topical jokes coupled with some guy talk and some talk about life. And we're going to be talking a lot more about life the next few months. So come check us out on there. It's Quick Snaps, the podcast, anywhere you get podcasts.
Awesome. And Sean, do you have any comments or questions for any of our comedians?
Not right now. I'm just a dumb jock. I'm just having so much fun listening to the jokes, and I'm having a blast.
This is awesome. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and and just those of you who are supporting comedy in general. Savannah throws another $2 and has another question for Costaki. What do you got?
Oh, have the notebook.
You've talked about playing to your strengths, and you've had a lot of success with comedy and radio. Outside of comedy, what is your next best strength, and how do you use it?
Ooh, good question.
Goodness.
And by the way, he talked about playing to his strengths. I believe was that on my podcast?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I just making sure. If people want to hear more about it.
Good plug.
It was a good episode.
Leave it to Hofstetter to get a plug in for his podcast during my question.
On my channel, motherfuckers. Kostaki, what is your answer to the question?
Play to strengths. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I'd like to think I'm a good dad. I'm a good poker player. And actually, that's on my list of things to try to explore these next few days is can I get back into online poker? There was a short time when I almost quit my night job for my night job. So I'm going to go back and explore.
I thought for a second you were like, and that's on my list to do to, start being a dad again. Now that I'm not working the road as much.
I know. The opposite problem. I am a dad 24 hours a day now. It's too much.
You're like, I gotta start playing poker to make this palatable.
I have two different questions for Sean, if I may. not Astros related and not coronavirus related.
What else is there?
Question one is, I think since none of us are anywhere close to ever being able to be anywhere near being a professional athlete, what is it like? You're on the mound. You have the pressure of even a regular game. You have 50,000 people. You have millions watching. How about the World Series? What's going through your brain when you're pitching? Are you aware of the circumstances or the stakes? Or are you just trying to make it like any other game? Just what goes through your head? It's so mind-boggling for us.
Can I butt in for 1 second before you answer that question, Sean? Just so people who are not sports fans know, Sean also played several years for the Oakland A's, so you might want to reduce that from 50,000 to 20,000 people watching. But sorry, go ahead.
Oh, come on. It's an adrenaline rush, man, and coming in like for the World Series, for example, I got to pitch in game one, and it was on the road in Houston. The situation when I came into the game, we were up 1, 2 outs in the 8th inning with the tying run on second base. So a big spot in the game. And over my career, I've kind of changed the way that I've thought about things, and I've tried to frame them a lot more positively instead of thinking about, oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess up in this situation. Take a second to look around, see the World Series logos on the Jumbotron. There's 50,000 people there, and you're like, oh my gosh, like how cool is this? This is awesome. And that, calms you down just enough to be able to remember what you're trying to do against different hitters and be loose enough that you can actually execute a little bit.
I love that.
And
My second question is...
By the way, wait, Ben, before your second question, I just want to throw in, as someone who has thrown 28 ceremonial first pitches, I agree with Sean. He really nailed the answer.
I mean, since we're plugging our own stuff, I also have a game ball here in my office somewhere. I hold a baseball record that can never be broken. In Little League, when I was about 12, I threw 9 strikeouts in 3 innings. Then they take you out after 3. So kind of we're the same. We're the same.
Yeah.
Now Ben,
If you know, Ben, but
how
if
many runs did you give up in those 9 outs?
I usually don't like to share that fact, but I also gave up 8 runs during those.
and you can get
my pitches.
You can get 4 strikeouts in an inning if the catcher drops a 3rd strike and the runner reaches first base safely. So that record can be broken.
How come the feed never freezes when Steve says shit like that?
I actually pay extra for fast internet just so I could talk shit to you guys. That's why. What's the other question?
The other question is, since we're all alone and isolated, and you might be lonely in your hotel room, Sean, do you want to tell people watching what hotel you are and what room number?
Good try.
Yeah, you have to. What you have to do is you have to narrow it down. Just be like, is your in quality? Are you comfort? Just go through each one.
No, you have to ask, how much did you pay for this shitty Wi-Fi? And when we know that price, we know exactly where he's staying. 889, that's a Hampton Inn. I got it. All right, cool.
Yeah. All right, Queen Rachel, before we wrap up here, do we have more questions, whether it is for our comedians, our special guest, Sean, Doolittle, any of our hosts, or just in general? What do we got?
Yeah, so we had another super chat come in from the Rockin' Donkey. It was for Leah, but I don't think she's on anymore. But he was just asking, is that Leah? Hey, we've got another one for you.
What's my question?
Is that a light side Darth Vader outfit?
Oh.
Did we
put it back
lose
on?
Leah?
Did we lose Leah?
I think she's putting it back on.
I am your
There we
father.
My experience is the more someone likes Darth Vader,
so.
the more they like to be choked. Is that real? Is that just me?
But I just heard choked and then I got excited. Is that weird? Okay.
Look how ahead of their time musical acts like Daft Punk or Dead Mouse was
Marshmallow
with their masks.
Yeah.
We're all in the future going to be performing with full-on masks.
The one thing, the one thing we won't have though is those damn shoulder spikes. We did get another Venmo, by the way. Ian Ratchie just threw another $5. We very much appreciate the support, guys. Whether it is super chat or Venmo, however it is that you were watching this and support the stream, it's a wonderful way for comics to still make a living despite the apocalypse. And by the way, can I just throw in that one thing I did not anticipate during the end times was how many dishes I'd have to fucking do. Like, it's insane because usually, and look, I like cooking at home and I'll do it every so often. I'm not doing it 3 fucking times a day. And so the amount of time that I would be like, oh, I'll just go get some Thai food for lunch, and I can't do that now. And I feel like I'm washing dishes every fucking minute of the day.
Yeah, I have exactly the same experience. It's so true.
That's why I only eat hot dogs. No dishes.
He just washes the tongue, and that's it.
It's the daily appearance of Henry Horse on the live stream.
Henry Horse, everybody.
Henry Horse, everybody.
Wave to everybody. Hello.
And before we wrap up, which we're going to do in a second, if you want to throw in some more Venmos, some more super chats, it does support. It supports the stream, and it helps us. It helps us book people, which is great. Queen Rachel, are we missing anything?
We do. We had a couple come in. Sheil Graff said, in the world of Toy Story, are blow-up dolls alive?
Oh, fuck, that's a good question.
I hope.
Wait, hold on a second. Danny looks like he has an answer to this.
No, I don't. I don't have a great answer, but I do. I know. I believe it's Rhino Flanagan has a phenomenal bit about this that everybody should look up. And then I was trying to figure out how to plug that, and then you cut to me too quickly, and I wasn't ready.
Well, I didn't know if you were like, oh, I have something to say, or that was more of like, oh, I have the vapors. Like, I wasn't quite sure.
I was excited because I knew
Great answer.
answer, and I was like, but I can't take his joke.
The answer is yes. The root word is in sex toy is toy. That thing comes alive. For sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's actually
absolutely.
Toy Story After Dark. It's on HBO if you guys want to check it out.
Oh God, the things they've seen. Rachel, what else do we have?
So we've got Scott Walters donating, just saying thanks, and I believe our very own Savannah Martin has something she'd like to close out with and say.
All right, we absolutely have to do that. Oh, and Revel, I just saw threw in another $20. Says today's stream was great. Thanks for doing this. Much appreciated. And by the way, I've had fun on previous streams, but I have no problem saying that this one was the best we've done. Like this has been so much fun. Everybody's been killing it.
It's been good. It's been good.
This was a total blast, but also just to the last question, also in a pinch, you could even use a Buzz Lightyear doll as a sex toy. And as it's about to go in, say, to infinity and beyond.
You could actually call some vibrators your Buzz Lightyear, depending on how quick.
Ben, you call your butthole infinity?
Also, can I just say that it's Buzz and Woody?
Hey, those are both dildo names for sure.
Those are absolutely, these are like, this is my Toy Story. All right, Rachel, what else did we miss?
Savannah wants to say
Oh yeah,
something.
Savannah, close it out for us.
All right. I have 2 comments and a question.
Okay.
So, Ben, just want to tell you that Idiot Test was the best entertainment option that I've ever been provided in my life. I've never gotten my parents to fight more quickly.
I appreciate that so very much. Thank you for watching the show and for helping your parents ruin their marriage very slowly.
Oh, my pleasure. For Steve, no question. I just wanted to tell you that the Rangers stuck and I want Breadman back.
No, you're not getting him. Savannah's a Blue Jackets fan, and I'm a Rangers fan, and we took their best player, even though we still suck.
For Danny Jolles, you're the reason I'm here today, so thank you.
Hey, let's go. I'll take it.
Bowers, your first picture on Instagram is a table at Five Guys with the caption, "I've decided to use Instagram more. This is what I do, right? Take pictures of my food." But you didn't include a picture of your food. So my question is, what do you order at Five Guys?
Oh, good call. I ordered a double cheeseburger with just ketchup and mayonnaise on it, plain, and then a large order of French fries.
Okay.
But Five Guys
which,
is my
by the way,
so.
or as Bowers likes to call it, a salad.
Yes, Bowers, one more question. Bowers, do you still believe now, 5 days later, that within 6 months, money will no longer be a thing?
Look, listen to me. I've been super positive about this, Ben, and I'm really having a good time in the apocalypse. I really am. But I will say this: if the Wi-Fi goes out, I think there's 15 minutes before the whole world catches on fucking fire. That's what I'm saying.
Well, actually, Sean's hotel won't notice the difference.
I'll still be here in Florida. Idea.
He'll be like,
And
"Is the Wi-Fi out?"
Also, if it's the apocalypse, Florida will also not notice the difference.
It's the same. It's the same business as usual down here, which is terrifying.
By the way, couple things I noticed in the chat there. By the way, also shout out, Savannah is wearing a shirt from the Martin Grant. That is the comedy scholarship that I run.
Hell yeah, I am.
That might have to be a little different in 2020 than it usually is. Because I think we might have to split up that grand prize because a lot of people are gonna need it. Also, that's awesome. Costaki decided to be a dad again. So that's
Over here, wave.
Baby Costaki.
Also, can I apologize to Costaki for something?
Yeah.
I just looked up in my comedy notebook, and I don't believe I actually did say Magic Johnson. My old joke was that he had magical AIDS. His AIDS were so magical, it just improved his entrepreneurial skills. So, Magic Johnson's all you, baby. My apologies.
So, by the way, I love that Costaki brought his kid in to get extra tips, like he's a Denny's server.
The artwork. I got nothing going on over here.
if you guys want a super chat so Costaki's kid can eat, we really appreciate that.
Give her one wave, everybody. Hey!
What's up, everybody?
You guys were absolutely wonderful. Huge thanks to all of our comedians, to Costaki Economopoulos, to Leah Lamarr, to Danny Jolles, and of course our special guest Sean Doolittle of the Washington Nationals, the world champion Washington Nationals, joining us. Thank you to everybody who has super chatted, who has Venmo'd, who supports it, and who shares this stream. That's the biggest thing, by the way. Share this stream, post it on all your social media, tell your friends about it so more and more people can join in. Ben, you want to take us home?
Absolutely. Quick plug too, if I may. A new episode of my podcast, Last Week on Earth, just dropped a couple of hours ago. It's appropriately named podcast. I cover the news of the week. I get a little more serious at certain points than we do in this fun hour, but I'm also pretty silly on it. And my guest is Maz Jobrani this week. And follow me here on YouTube. Thank all of you for being here. All of you for watching. All of our guests. Everybody at home. We're trying to bring you some laughter during this crazy time. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a great week, a great day, whatever you're doing. I hope you're not sanitizing so much that your skin falls off. Let's try to tone it back just a bit. If you're inside, you don't have to sanitize as much. Until tomorrow, thank you for being here on the Social Distancing Social Club.
Tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you again. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Jim. Jim,
All
I'll
right,
see you for a
Taylor.
shot in a second.
Taylor, take us off the air.